Why is WWE breaking up tag teams and factions? Real reasons why Io Sky won the 2023 WWE Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ways Damian Priest could cash in his Money in the Bank contract. Directions for LA Knight after his surprising Money in the Bank loss. Directions for Roman Reigns following Money in the Bank 2023. Let's jump right into it. Real reasons why Io Sky won the 2023 WWE Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Io Sky outlasted 5 other women to win the pulsating 2023 WWE Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The genius of the Sky emerged victorious in a creative fashion, handcuffing Becky Lynch and Bayley before climbing over the ladder to claim the briefcase. After seeing fellow fan favorite LA Knight fall short earlier in the show, the WWE Universe was ecstatic to see the former NXT Women's Champion prevail. It remains to be seen whether she will choose to cash in on her former rival Rhea Ripley or longtime career frenemy Asuka. For now, let's look at 3 possible reasons why Io Sky won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Number 3. Io Sky was simply the best choice to win the WWE Women's Money in the Bank match. Of the 6 women in the 2023 Women's Money in the Bank match, Io Sky had the best mix of experience and hunger needed to win. Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Trish Stratus, already multi-time champions, have already tasted glory and were thus not as hungry as Sky. Zelina Vega and Zoe Stark were as hungry as she was but didn't have the pedigree of the former NXT champion. Therefore, it made sense that Sky prevailed since she was one of the women who needed it the most and had what it took to get to the mountaintop. Additionally, she was the fan favorite. Number 2. The genius of the Sky has a compelling history with both WWE Women's Champions. Io Sky first crossed paths with Asuka in 2010 in Japan, teaming with the Empress of Tomorrow for years as part of the Triple Tails faction. The duo's respective legendary tenures in NXT did not overlap, but they crossed paths again on the main roster, this time as rivals. The WWE Women's Champion and Damage Control member have had some tense exchanges in recent months, and all signs point to a potential feud between them being explosive. However, it's worth noting that the genius of the Sky also shares history with Rhea Ripley from their battles in NXT and could rekindle that instead. It thus makes sense that she won the contract since her compelling history with both champions will keep fans guessing until she makes her choice. Number 1. Io Sky won the Money in the Bank contract to kickstart her solo career on the WWE main roster. Since returning to WWE at SummerSlam 2022, Io Sky has been a tag team competitor as part of Damage Control. She has found considerable success, becoming a 2-time women's tag team champion with Dakota Kai. Now that the latter is on the shelf with a long-term injury, the company may have finally decided to give Purple Thunder a solo run. Considering that she was one of the best single stars in NXT and Stardom over the past decade, it's difficult to argue against this choice. We can't wait to see what the future holds for the genius of the Sky and who she will cash in on. Keep an eye on that tension between her and Bayley too. Ways Damian Priest could cash in his Money in the Bank contract. Damian Priest proved his worth by winning the men's ladder match at WWE Money in the Bank 2023. Fans wonder what's next for him. Major names like LA Knight, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, Logan Paul, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Butch participated in the men's MITB ladder match. After an epic battle, Damian Priest picked up the win. Without any further ado, here are a few ways he could cash in his briefcase for a title opportunity. Number 5. Cash in on Seth Rollins soon. Damian Priest and the Judgment Day have already had some issues with the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. The stable's member Finn Balor faced the Visionary at WWE Money in the Bank 2023. During a title match, Damian Priest appeared and seemingly tried to get an opportunity to cash in his contract. While he couldn't capitalize in England, he revealed his intentions of cashing in on Seth Rollins. He could perhaps use the Judgment Day's power to bring the Visionary down and cash in the contract to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Number 4. Cash in on Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. The Judgment Day is on WWE Raw, and another title besides the World Heavyweight Championship on the brand is Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. Gunther has been an undefeated champion for a very long time, and his dominance seems unstoppable. If the right moment occurs at the right time, Damian Priest might just cash in on the ring general instead of Seth Rollins. Considering the prestige Gunther has brought to the Intercontinental Championship, a cash-in for the title will be well received by the fans. Priest will also end the ring general's long undefeated streak by dethroning him as the champion. Number 3. Cash in on Austin Theory for the United States Championship. The Archer of Infamy clearly mentioned during his backstage interview at WWE Money in the Bank 2023 that he could also cash in for the United States Championship. Going by the current signs, Damian Priest could soon betray the Judgment Day and become a babyface. He could then pull off a surprise cash-in on Austin Theory on SmackDown for the United States Championship. Last year, Theory failed to successfully cash in his briefcase for the United States title. Now might be the time, the punishment of the Judgment Day, to show Theory how to successfully win the prestigious title by cashing in the briefcase. Number 2. Damian Priest could cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Roman Reigns. When When it comes to the toughest target in Taken, it is definitely the tribal chief Roman Reigns, who has stayed the champion for over 1,000 days and counting. Money in the Bank briefcase will be an ideal tool to dethrone the head of the table, and it may already be the right time amid the Bloodline civil war. The tribal chief is currently the weakest he's ever been. Damian Priest could capitalize by cashing in and shockingly becoming the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This scenario might seem unlikely, but if Damian is looking for the absolute top spot in the company, he will aim to dethrone Roman Reigns. Number 1. Cash in on Finn Balor. Finn Balor faced Seth Rollins but couldn't win the World Heavyweight Championship at WWE Money in the Bank 2023. However, the story might not be over. Balor might demand or earn another title shot, as he was apparently distracted by Damian Priest during a clash with a World Heavyweight Champion. If not now, he could challenge for the title sometime later this year or even in 2024. Cracks between Damian and Finn are now deeper than ever, so Damian could recreate a scene from 19 years ago when Triple H and Evolution turned on Randy Orton. The Archer of Infamy could get the Judgment Day to his side once Finn Balor wins the World Heavyweight Championship, only to turn on him and cash in the briefcase for the title. Directions for LA Knight after his surprising Money in the Bank loss. At Money in the Bank, the crowd was left disheartened as LA Knight failed to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Considering his momentum, many fans expected the 40-year-old to walk out of the O2 Arena with a briefcase. However, that did not happen, and Damian Priest ended up emerging victorious. With this loss at MITB, Knight must now return to life on SmackDown. It will be interesting to see the direction Knight's career takes next. Regardless of what happens, considering his talent, fans can expect Knight to be a big star. In this piece, we will look at 4 directions LA Knight can go after his surprising loss at Money in the Bank. Number 4. LA Knight attacks Butch on SmackDown. The men's Money in the Bank match was a classic contest enjoyed by fans. While each man gave the competition their best shot, Butch's performance in the contest was worth remembering. Not only did he perform some great high-flying moves, he also stopped many from winning the contract. One superstar Butch stopped from winning the briefcase was LA Knight. In the final moments of the contest, Knight seemed very close to winning, but Butch interrupted the party and manipulated Knight's joints. Butch's move led to the 40-year-old falling from the ladder. This incident is something Knight won't forget easily. Hence, it won't be a surprise to see the LA Knight attack Butch on SmackDown. As a matter of fact, the duo could also be involved in a potential feud, which will be interesting to watch. Number 3. Feud with Bray Wyatt upon his return. Since LA Knight has become a major player on WWE's main roster, fans have been interested in seeing the wrestler receive a major push. From the feuds he has been involved in, it seems as if WWE is also interested in making Knight the next big thing. This year, Knight feuded with a big name in Bray Wyatt. While the segments between Wyatt and Knight received mixed reviews, it was decent to watch. The duo collided at Royal Rumble 2023 in a pitch black match, which saw Knight lose. This is a loss LA Knight would want to avenge. With Bray Wyatt being rumored to return, Knight could finally get his shot. This would also act as a perfect redemption for the 40-year-old, who can then go on to challenge for some major titles. Number 2. Challenge for the US title. If LA Knight won the Money in the Bank briefcase, it would be likely that the 40-year-old would go for one of the 2 world championships. However, with his loss at MITB, Knight and a world championship seem to be a distant possibility. But that does not mean Knight can't be champion. On SmackDown, Austin Theory is currently the reigning US champion. While Theory has not had a significant challenger for some time, he is now set to defend his title against the 14-year WWE veteran Sheamus on SmackDown next week. Regardless of who wins that match, it would be good to see Knight involve himself in the US title scenario. While the 40-year-old could face the winner of the match on SmackDown, he could also be included in a triple threat scenario involving Theory and Sheamus. Number 1. Challenge for the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. Despite Gunther being on Raw and LA Knight on SmackDown, it would be cool to see the latter appear on the red brand if he is given a loophole. At Money in the Bank, Gunther defeated Matt Riddle via submission to retain his Intercontinental Championship. In doing so, the Austrian looked dominant, and it seemed he would now be on the hunt for a new challenge. While Drew McIntyre returned at MITB and confronted Gunther, it won't harm to see Knight pursue the IC title once the feud between McIntyre and Gunther ends. Regardless of who Knight faces, it will help boost his career massively. After all, considering Knight has suffered a devastating defeat at Money in the Bank, the 40-year-old will have to make a massive comeback if he wants to keep the momentum going. Directions for Roman Reigns following Money in the Bank 2023. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa took on the Usos in a tag team match at WWE Money in the Bank. However, things didn't turn out well for the Tribal Chief and the Enforcer as they faced a huge defeat in the match. Following the big loss at the PLE, fans have been wondering what is next for the head of the table. To feed the widespread curiosity for the time being, here are 4 potential directions for Reigns following MITB. Number 4. Roman Reigns demands a rematch. As mentioned earlier, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa failed to prevail over the Usos at Money in the Bank 2023. However, the company could book a rematch between the 2 teams. The Tribal Chief could come up with some excuse, demanding another shot at the former undisputed tag team champions. This could end in WWE announcing another potential match between the 2 parties. Number 3. Solo Sikoa turns on the Tribal Chief. Chief. The Bloodline Civil War was one of the most riveting contests at Money in the Bank PLE. The match lived up to the expectations of the fans. During the closing moments of the encounter, Jey Uso hit a big Uso splash on Roman Reigns to pin him. Given the head of the table ate the pin at the event, an irate Solo Sikoa could blame the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion for their loss and turn on him. The Enforcer could attack the former big dog, planting seeds for a potential match. Number 2. The head of the table takes on the right-hand man. As mentioned earlier, Jey Uso did the unthinkable by pinning Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank 2023. Given how things unfolded, it seems WWE could be planning a big match between the duo for SummerSlam. The former Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner could challenge the Tribal Chief for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in the coming days. Jey can then face Roman to a potential match at the biggest party of the summer. Number 1. Randy Orton returns and confronts Reigns. While Randy Orton was rumored to be returning at Money in the Bank, it didn't happen. However, recent reports have suggested that the Viper's WWE return is imminent. Given the fact that Orton has a score to settle with Reigns, it wouldn't be surprising if the Apex Predator returns and confronts the Tribal Chief. The creative team could have the former WWE Champion make his return in the coming days to lay down the breadcrumbs for a match against Reigns at SummerSlam. Do you want Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns to happen at SummerSlam? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Why is WWE breaking up tag teams and factions? WWE has recently broken up or begun separating various tag teams and factions, creating individual paths for multiple superstars. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, as well as the Bloodline, are the latest examples of groups that have broken up. The main question now is, why is the company disbanding multiple groups? While there are multiple teams on the roster, they have not been able to generate the excitement of tag team wrestling. The Bloodline and Judgment Day didn't have much competition from other teams. This could mean the company may be deciding to shift focus more towards singles titles and competition. The company recently combined the Women's Tag Team Championships and has overall reduced the tag team competition. The singles roster was also bolstered by the introduction of the World Heavyweight Championship. However, there are still some exciting teams with the likes of the OC, Pretty Deadly, LWO, Brawling Brutes on the roster. Hopefully, they can bring the excitement back to the tag division. The next edition of Friday Night SmackDown will emanate live from Madison Square Garden. The arena is known as the Mecca of sports entertainment. It is a given that WWE will go all out to book a world-class show. The company is halfway there, advertising some must-see segments and matches already. Sheamus will challenge Austin Theory for the United States Championship, and AJ Styles as Karrion Kross will also take place on the show. The big news is that WWE Hall of Famer Edge will return and be the guest on the Grayson Waller effect. There have also been rumors regarding the return of former Intercontinental Champion Carlito. The ticket sales for the event are through the roof. The upcoming SmackDown at the venue is almost sold out. According to WrestleTix, only 114 tickets are left out of a total of 12,641.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me